Hey, so in this video, I'm going to go over the additional configurations Windows users may need to do in order to properly run the KryptoScalper app. And the first thing I'm going to go over, and also the most common reason why the KryptoScalper app may fail, has to do with your computer's clock being synchronized properly. The way the KryptoScalper app works is it sends API calls to your crypto exchange, and your crypto exchange may reject those API calls if your computer's clock is off by more than even just 1 second. So I highly recommend, especially if you're using a Windows system, to go ahead and use a third-party tool to help keep your clock synchronized. One of the ones that I like using is Dimension 4, and we'll get to that in a second. But also another thing is if you look at where you downloaded the KryptoScalper app, if you click on executables such as the setup wizard or the KryptoScalper or even the portfolio analyzer, one of the things you'll notice is it tells you up front, in this case when I pull up the setup wizard, it tells you up front how off your system clock is. So in this case, mine is only off by 0.0371 seconds, which is great. But again, if yours is off by more than like 0.7 seconds, that's not good. And if it's over 1, it's probably going to get rejected. So what we can do is, if you go to the documentation tab on my website, you can click on the Dimension 4 link right here, and it will take you to the Dimension 4 website. And I've been using this tool for probably 4 or 5 years now. It's free, it works great. And click on the link. Go through the setup wizard, go ahead and just click accept the defaults, click next. Click on agree. All right, so it shows it's complete. And now if I go to my menu here to pull up Dimension 4. It'll take you through a setup. So this should pop up. So what you want to do is click on settings. And you'll probably get prompted here to allow this to run as a service. And so I'm going to go ahead and just click OK. And as you can see here, my system clock is only off by 0.276 seconds. So that's excellent. But at this point, you're done, and this will start running in the background. So you can go ahead and close out of it, and at this point, you're done. And that's all there is to the time synchronization. If you're running on Unix, you can use the Crony app, and just using that application to keep your system clock synchronized. That's what I use for my Linux systems. So the next one now is the second part of this video is to go over the antivirus. So when you download the app, if you find yourself having a difficult time even just clicking on the executable where your computer is preventing you from even just opening it up, then what you'll need to do is exclude it from your antivirus. And again, most users won't have an issue, but for the few of you who have strict antivirus settings, what you'll want to do is from the Windows menu, type in security, click here on the Windows Security app. And from here, you'll want to click on the virus and threat protection. And you'll want to scroll down and click on Manage Settings. Scroll down, click here, Add or Remove Exclusions. Then here you'll want to add an exclusion. You can add a file or a folder, but in our case, I'm just going to go ahead and add this entire folder that my application is sitting on. So I'm going to click here on Folder, and from my C drive, I'll just go ahead and click on KryptoScalper. that's it. At that point, it's excluded and you shouldn't have any issues opening up the file. And then finally, the third part of the video is the ability to connect to the internet. So again, if you were to, one of the first things the app does when you open, for example, the setup wizard, even the KryptoScalper executable itself, is it confirms whether you can access the internet or not. So here you can see that I have access. It's resolving an IP address, so I have no issues. But if you find yourself not being able to confirm a public IP address, what you'll want to do is you want to allow your app to go through the firewall. So on Windows systems, you want to click here on firewall and network protection. And you'll want to click on allow an app through the firewall. So once you click on that, you'll get this pop-up. You'll want to click here, allow another app. But in my case, since it's grayed out, and if it's grayed out on your end, what you'll want to do is click change settings to be able to manually click on allow another app. And then here, you'll just want to browse to where your executable is. So if I go here to KryptoScalper, to the dist folder, here I'll add the KryptoScalper executable, click open, click add, and when you add it, you want to make sure that it's right here is KryptoScalper executable. You want to make sure it's selected for all the different networks, private, public, work, domain, whatever the checkbox is, make sure it's checked for all. And you'll want to keep repeating this process for especially the KryptoScalper executable as well as the ticker stream. Those are the two most important that need to have access to the internet for the app to work. So you'll just want to repeat this process. And I'm going to go to click here, add, open check marks, and at this point, we are done. Again, if you're having problems accessing the internet because of firewall, add all the executables. But at this point, for this video, we are done with the additional configurations, and hopefully you have found this helpful.